E, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I just finished Strange New Worlds episode 5, and I have to tell you right now, this episode was good. It was very Freaky Friday, which I liked, and it was just very much like kind of like a, like, I don't want to say it was a dud, but it was just kind of like a filler episode, which is fine if this was like old Trek and it was like a 23 episode season, but it's not. I think it's only 10 episodes, 13. Don't quote me on any of that. I can't remember. So it's not that I thought that it was bad. It's just I thought that it would be like, I don't know, but it was, I'll just say it was good. It's fine. And my thing is, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm letting my guard down a little bit and I'm liking the show for what it is, but I can't get over the fact that this is all connected to Discovery and Picard, and those shows are just awful. Ugh, especially Picard, and when Discovery's awful too. It's just really, I don't know if I can ever like truly 100% give over everything to the show and just like, oh my god, the show is amazing and everything, which bums me out. But they did this. They're to blame for this, not me. I didn't to bamboozle them into liking my Trek and then doing weird stuff and then hating it and stuff. I didn't trick them. They tricked me. But this, like I said, this has got a Freaky Friday. I'm sorry, I have something. I think I just have my allergies and stuff, and my eyes are just really itchy. But I thought this was a fun episode. Like I said, it was very Freaky Friday, and then we have this like little B storyline with number 1 and Noonien-Singh. Sorry, I'm gonna say her name like so wrong every time. Just no disrespect. It's just. Can we let's just go, what's her name? Luna, whatever. I'm just gonna call her Sing. Anyways, so this was a lot about Spock and T'Pring, his fiance, soon to be Mrs. And yeah, and like I said, there was a lot of stuff that I liked about this episode. And now that we're just doing that, let's just dive into this sucker because yeah. But before I get started, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we always get shoved to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. So now that I've gone through that portion of the program, sorry, my eyes are just, I want to gouge them out. They're so itchy. Let's get started on this episode. Okay, so it starts off on Vulcan, and we go to this little ceremony. It's obviously a little like wedding ceremony, and we're getting ready for these two. And she's all like, she walks up to Spock. She's Spock, what's wrong with your ears? And then he's human. She's like, you are human. She's like, I invoke and everything. I can't remember what the thing is. And he's like, battle to the death. She's like, I choose him. And he looks over and it's him. It's Spock. So he's Spock fighting Spock, but human Spock and Vulcan Spock. And it's like one of those like his human self is fighting his Vulcan self. And so they do this stuff and they play that dun 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 music. Anyways. And so he loses his, and then he wakes up. Look at that face. And he wakes up and he's like, oh crap, and everything. So then they're at this spaceport, and he's doing his officer's log and start date 234 1.4. After our harrowing encounter with the Gorn, Enterprise has returned to Starbase 1, one of the oldest, most virinated space stations in the Federation, newly repaired after the Klingon War. Here, the crew will be adjourning for some much-needed rest and relaxation. While I have agreed to assist the captain with a diplomatic matter, I plan to spend most of my time here with my fiancée, T'Pring, who has arranged to join me since our last visit was cut short. And so I didn't move along. I was reading that. So he's here in his little quarters. Now he goes and he's all like trying to fix his like apartment and everything. And his T'Pring comes in and she's all like, your quarters are very human and everything. And she moves these glasses, and I was like, just like a woman to come in and fix your man pad. Am I right, guys? She comes in and moves the glasses. I was like, don't touch those. Those aren't yours yet. And he's like, I haven't decorated the way I want to just yet and everything. So, but yeah. So they're sitting here talking, and they're going to spend some time together and everything. So April is sitting here with Pike. I am so sorry, but my eyes are like, oh, so much. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay. So they're sitting here and they're talking about these guys, and these are the Rongovians. And they're like these like cat-like creatures. I actually like their look. They kind of reminded me of the Avatar creatures. What are they? The Na'vi. Kind of reminded me of them, just not with the little tails and the little whippy things in their tails, the little things that come out and everything. Yeah, and they're not like, I see you and everything. So anyway, so they're sitting here talking that because they have a small what do they say? They have a small but very important piece of like territory, and it's in between the Klingons, their empire, and then the Romulan Empire. So they want them as like an ally for the Federation. But that's them with the Tellarites, and that negotiation didn't go too well. So he's like, we need to negotiate with them to try to get them to join the Federation. So they come in. He's like Captain Pike and everything, and they seem very like, cool and stuff like that. I can't remember exactly what they say here, but yeah. So then the nurse and Nurse Chapel and Shay Diaz, I don't remember her name. It's like Ortiz, right? I don't remember. I didn't pull it up. Sorry. So unprepared. They're getting ready to go out, and she's talking about the dude that she's all interested in. What was his name? Oh my goodness. I should have been prepared. Oh, it doesn't matter. The dude she's interested in. She's going to meet with him, this dude that she's been seeing, and they pick up the doctor. And he's got his little fishing hat because he's going to go fishing for his relaxation. And they make fun of his fishing hat. I didn't appreciate that. I mean, don't make fun of people and what they're like. I mean, he's obviously into fishing and he likes wearing that hat. So leave him alone, ladies. Anyways, so they get on the transporter room, and they get in there, and they're talking to these two, number one and Lillian Noonien-Singh. And they talk about how they're no fun, and their nickname is like where fun goes to die. And they're like, what? Dever was the one dude. Sorry. So then they all blast away, and he comes in and he's like, hey, listen, babe, I'm sorry, but my boss needs me to negotiate with these lion folk. I'm gonna have to put our little visit on hold. And she's like, excuse me, Z-Snap. I don't think so, Mr. Sister. I came here to be with you. So I'm gonna go get a drink, and you need to fix your shit right now. And then he's all like, I don't know why she's mad. This is my job. So then we hop over to Dever and Nurse Chapel. I have to be honest with you guys. I'm not a big fan of Nurse Chapel. They're like trying to make her all quirky and like fun and everything. But I find her annoying. Like she's all like, oh, I'm so crazy. I'm like the crazy science nurse that likes to do wacky things, like weird biology stuff on people. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have time for your nonsense. I really don't. So he's like talking about, he's like, hey, where is this going? And she doesn't want, and he's like, I was thinking I could transfer here, or you could transfer to my ship. And she like blanks out, and then she sees Spock eating dinner by himself. She's like, I have to go check on my friend. So she walks over there to sit down with him. And I just go, A, rude. Two, she has commitment issues and I know why. And it's like, surprise, of course, and everything. Because this show is just pulling out all the tropes that we just love to see every freaking episode of every single show. Anyways, so these two are walking the halls and they're like, do you think we are where fun goes to die and everything? And she's like, no, we just like responsibility. I didn't have a childhood like everybody else. I was hunted by the Gorn as a child. Sorry, I'm not into fun. And she's all like, yeah, and I like responsibility. I don't know what her excuse was. So they get a little like doo-doo-doo, and there's somebody in this airlock. So they open it up and it's these two little hookers. They're like, we're crew members and everything. And so that's where that ends. So she's sitting here and she's like, okay, I know what happened. If you look right here in this picture, you can see Dever right there. And he's looking behind like she left me for that guy and everything. And I'm all like, listen, first off, Spock, when he's not Spock and he's like a normal person in real life, I mean, the dude's got abs. Of course, she's like, hey, leaving you for him. Because the Dever guy was good looking and everything. But I do feel bad for him because she just like totally abandoned him like a total asshole. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Anyways, so she's sitting there and she's like, of course she's mad at you. You told her to come hang out with you for a weekend and then you totally skipped out on her to go work. Of course she's going to be mad, dummy. Duh. And he's all like, so what do you suggest? And she's all like, spend time with her, you big idiot. You know, that's what a lot of guys don't understand about women. Women don't like, I'm not, I don't want to be mean, but women are not hard to figure out. You don't know what my wife finds attractive. All you got to do is just be like, when she comes home, just be like, hey, how was your day? And she's just like, what? And I'm like, hey, tell me more about that. And they're just like, you know, they are just like ready to jump on you, you know, like a wildcat to a gazelle with the deer and the hoof and the thing, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Be like, pow, 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 bring you to the front, pow, pow. You know, right? They're like, give it that chocolate cream pie. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'm getting off on a tangent. Anyways, so she's like, just spend time with her. And then he's like, what's up with her? What's up with him? And he's like, he wants commitment. I'm not into it. So then he goes to spend time with her. I'm sorry. I went on that stupid tangent. Chocolate cream pie. Anyways, so he's like, I thought we could do the kung fu or whatever. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. Because in a minute they start speaking in tongues. And I was like, you guys have lost me on this. Vulcans are weird. He's like, where we explore each other's consciousness. And I know everything about you and you know everything about me. And I was like, oh, my wife does not want to do that. I have weird thoughts all the time. So she's like, I agree. Let's do it. So then they do it and they hold hands and they're like, and I was all like, oh, I swear to God, if one of you pulls out a snake, I'm going to freak out. Anyways, the candles go dark. They've gone all Freaky Friday. So Spock is in T'Pring. T'Pring is in Spock. They look at each other's and they're like, crap. Now, yeah, they're just like, what are we going to do? So then April comes back and he's all like, listen, because I forgot to mention, Spock was in that meeting, the now lion, and they saw that he was half Vulcan, half human. They have taught now. They only want to talk to Spock. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I apologize. He's like, really? It's like, all right, I'll talk to Spock. So then they're head palming each other and everything because they want to switch back, which I get it and everything. But nothing's working. So then they get a little ring like doo-doo, and she's all like, we should answer that before people start getting, curious and everything. Oh, I'm gonna get pink eye from rubbing my eye too much. Oh, I'm sorry, they just itch so bad. Allergies suck balls. Oh my goodness. So he's like, it'd be logical for us to answer the door. You pretend to be Spock and talk to whoever it is to send them away. So like, that's logical. That's just logical. So in comes Pike and he's like, sorry guys to bother you. And she's like, yes, Captain. I mean, Chris and everything. And he's like, listen, the Merovingians, whatever they're called, they only want to talk to Spock now. So I'm going to need him. And she's all like, we have to tell him. He's all like, so then he tells me, he's like, huh, are you guys serious right now? That's so kooky. You guys and your Vulcan magic tricks. So then he leaves with T'Pring / Spock and goes off to negotiate. So these two are going to interrogate the two ensigns or whatever they were that were in that airlock. So they go in. This girl gets interrogated by Noonien-Singh, and she is straight up vicious. Like, she is not even kind of trying to play it like cool and everything. She's just straight up like bad cop. And number one is totally good cop. They play good cop, bad cop, but like on two different people, on this little alien person. Which, by the way, I just want to say, I appreciate it when they put more aliens on these shows. Like, I've always complained about both Picard and Discovery. There is not enough aliens. If you guys hear noises, sorry, my neighbor is having yard work done on her house by professionals, so it might be a little noisy at the points, but I've always said that they lack aliens on those shows, and I do appreciate so far that Strange New World is doing more aliens and stuff. So this girl is like straight up crying. Like, she's like, we were playing Enterprise Bingo or Space Bingo. I can't remember what it's called. It's bingo of some kind. This girl's just laughing. It's like, it's so much fun. And then they're in there and she's like, listen, you two are in trouble. So you guys have to go, and you guys don't get R&R time, and you have to go work with some douchey guy that they don't like. They're like, he's really mean. I'm like, well, they're like, you shouldn't have broke the rules. And they're like, what is Space Bingo? I'm like, I don't know. And then T'Pring gets a call from this girl with a little donut for a hairstyle. What is this, Girls season 4? Anyways, and she's all like, the one guy whose name I can't think of off the top of my head, he wants to meet with you for the resurgence, the relapse. I don't remember, dude. Just give me a sec. I'm gonna look it up real quick. I'm sorry I'm wasting your time, you guys. You guys are so great. I love you guys so much. You guys are so great. Anyways, ooh, I'm so annoyed right now because nothing is working out for me right now. Little idiot. Not you, me. I'm the little idiot because I should have had all of this ready to go, like straight up. All right. Anyway, so I'll tell you in a minute. So she's all like, hey, we need to get this guy on board for the thing, which I'll think of in a minute. And then we need to and he's only willing to talk to you because you're just so logical. So she's like, I will do it. Or she's like, okay, I'll think about it. And she's like, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. I'm not gonna make you do it, T'Pring. But I'm just saying, like, maybe you should think about it. So then Vaso, whatever. Anyways, so these two are sitting here talking. They figure out what Space Bingo is. And Space Bingo is basically just you finish a bunch of tasks that are against the rules on the ship, and then you do them, and then you get, like, I don't know what the prize is. I don't think there is a prize. Anyways, so they're like, and she's like, well, what's so great about this? And she's like, I don't know. Why don't we try them and see what's so great about it? So they do the first one, and they're chewing gum, and the gum loses its flavor. Then they zap her out of there, like, and then they zap her back, and the flavor is back on the gum. And she's like, interesting. So the next one is they're in the elevator tube, and they both grab the handle at the same time and say where they want to go, like engineering or the bridge, and whichever one it goes to is the winner of that one. And then the next one is they set the stunners on the lowest phase of stun, and then they shoot each other. But at the last minute, she's like, wait, and then she shoots her, and she's like, ow, that hurt, and everything. So then Chapel and Ortega's. Yeah, or Ortega's. Yeah, anyways. So Chapel and her are sitting here talking, and she's like, wait, you gave him advice or whatever. I don't remember what she says and everything. And she's like, what happened to Dever? And she's like, he wants commitment. He wants to be like in a thing. And I'm not ready for that, yo. I'm still working on me And I'm just trying to like live my life, and he wants to be all like, he's all like, hey, he's trying to settle me down, and I'm an independent woman and I will not be settled down by no man's and everything. She didn't say all that like that. She's not as fun like that. She's like, oh, T'Pring's coming, she's gonna fight you. She's like totally gonna be like, let's do this, hook her face. But she doesn't. She's all like, man, please speak with you alone. And then Ortega says like, yeah, I'll check you later. And then she's like, I need to talk to you and tell you something. And she's like, shut up, you're Spock. So she tells her she's Spock. She's like, yes, I need your help with, science wise. She's like, well, it'll take some time. It's not like, science is not like, exact. There's, there's trial and error. And I don't know if you want the error part on your part. So I can't remember if they say anything else. But yeah. So then these two are like, did you have fun? And they're like, no, not really. It wasn't really that fun. And she's all like, well, then what's so great about this? And they're like, maybe it's the fact that they're breaking the rules, and that's the fun part of it. And they're like, and because we make the rules, that's why we're not getting the fun portion of it. So we need to do something that is fun for us because we're breaking the rules. So then these guys are sitting here and they're talking logical with Spock, like very logical. And they're all like, what, how can we join them? And like, you gave up your culture. And then Spock, being actually T'Pring, is all like, there are some times where I would like to go back to my home planet and, be immersed in my own culture. And he's like, so you admit that you are giving up your own culture to be in the Federation, which is something they do not want. They don't want to give up their culture, kind of thing. And Pike comes in because he's like, ah, crap, T'Pring is screwing this up. Oh, by the way, see in the background right there, that yellow thing, that's their little sail barge thing. I'm going to show you. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit later on. And what they said when they come to an alliance or whatever, they'll fly the flag of the species that they're an alliance with. So sorry, I should have mentioned that before, but I didn't grab a still of it, so I didn't remember until now. And so he's like, why are you interrupting Captain Pike? And he's all like, I just want to talk to Spock for just 2 seconds. Sorry. He's like, Spock, I'm so sorry that you had to give up your culture. It's very brave of you that you came out here and sacrificed so much to come out here and, be a part of something that's bigger than you. And he's like, thank you so much. And he's like, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm going to get you out of here. I should not have asked you to do this. I apologize. And then T'Pring and him leave. The doctor is fishing. Mbenga, is that how you say his name? Mbenga? I don't know. Anyways, I do like the actor that plays him, though. I've seen him somewhere, I think. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways, all these people are doing yoga, and she is going to meet Vaso. Okay, so this guy's name is not Vaso. His name is Barjan. And they're meeting for something. And long story short, he's like, I didn't know you brought along a human. And she's all like, I can't really. She's something about the Vidash Couture. I don't know. I'm just reading it here because I don't remember what it's called. Man, Vulcan's got too many weird names. Anyways, long story short, he says no because you married a half-breed human Vulcan, and Chapel steps in and is like, Spock is more Vulcan than you'll ever be. And he's like, coming from a human, that's not really an insult, honey. And then he's all, I can't remember what he says, but Spock T'Pring punches him out, and it was all like, that was probably not logical. She's like, but it was the most human thing or something. I don't remember. I don't know. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. So then they get back to the ship, and they put this sea urchin paste on their foreheads, and then these little crystals, and then they shock them, and they're like, it hurts. Oh God, it hurts. Oh God, it hurts so bad. And then they're back. Science. I'm not making fun of it because it's like in the future and everything. It's just funny how I'm like, I say science for like a lot of stuff that isn't sciencey. And these little crystals didn't seem sciencey to me, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. So then he's all like, hey, thank you for what you said about me being, Vulcan, all that stuff. And she's like, hey, it's cool and everything. So these two are talking. I can't remember exactly what they said. He's like, they're like, they end up making love. They're like, and everything. Then back at the negotiation table, Pike, they sit down, Basso, and he's all like, listen, he's all like, you don't want to join Federation. Why would you? You're going to have to give up your territory, and you might lose yourselves. And, who's to say, we had our Klingon war, who's to say we won't piss somebody else off, and then you'll have to deal with that and everything. So, you're probably just better off not dealing with us. And he's like, and I'm paraphrasing there. And he's like, thank you, Captain. And like, what are you doing? He's like, listen, maybe they just needed somebody to sympathize with their position and see it from, and, put themselves in their shoes and where they're coming from. And so long story short, they fly the flag of the Federation. Like, that's the flag of the Federation. So these two are walking on the bow of the ship on the disc. And they're like, are you sure this is going to hold? And she's like, yeah, I'm like 99% sure it'll hold. So they get to what this is called the Scourge. And this is the oldest, this is the oldest piece of the ship that has not been replaced. It's the oldest part. It's been through everything. And to sign it means it is lucky. So they both sign it, which I'm like, oh yeah, but it doesn't look like a very big piece. I'm like, how many crew members you got on there? Like a buttload and everything. They can't all sign it. So while they're standing there, this ship comes over the bow, and it's very cool looking. And he's all like, by the way, I punched, oh gosh, what was his name? Barjan in the face. She's like, that was probably the most logical thing. I've met him before. So this thing I thought was really cool, but I just wanted to say, like, I thought when I first saw it, I thought of, Dooku's, solar sailor from Star Wars. That was the first thing that came to mind. And then I remembered one of my absolute favorite episodes of Star Trek ever of all time. I always go back to this episode when it comes to writing. It reminded me of this Bajoran sailor thing here from Deep Space Nine. This episode, just, I love this episode so much. I can't tell you how much I love this episode, especially now that I'm a father, because it was like Cisco and his son. And I always point back when anybody tells me, like, talks to me about writing, I always point back to this episode. I'm like, this episode is how you write. It's two people, one room for almost an hour. If you can't write as good as this episode was, you can't write at all, because that episode is fantastic. I love that episode so much. I love it. Go back and watch it. Just watch all of Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine is so good. That's my favorite one, but that's just because that's what got me started, and that's yeah. Anyways, okay. So these two are sitting here, and they're talking, and she's like, "Yeah, me and Dever, we called it off. I called it off. He wanted a commitment. He wanted to go steady, and I wasn't interested." And she's like. And then she's like, I told him he's just too boring. Because earlier he read her his poetry, which is, I do not like poetry. I don't know about you, but I cannot stand poetry at all. Like, and it's probably because I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand like any part of it. And I just, every time somebody tries to read me poetry, I'm just like, oh, great. All right, I'm done. I'm like, oh, it's so deep. Anyway, so she's like, that's what you need to do the next time you're in a relationship right off the bat. Just be honest. And she's like, I just want it to be, the right guy. And she's like, and then she says, well, or something like, well, and then she's like, and she drinks her thing and she gives her a look. And I think it's because Nurse Chapel is a lesbian. And I just go, listen, I don't have a problem with that. Because she's totally a lipstick lesbian because she's super cute and everything. But if she's all into Ortegas, which is, if Ortegas is a lesbian, it's like, oh, surprise, the girl with the shaved head is the lesbian. Oh, I'm so surprised by that. Oh my goodness. I'm why didn't you give her a motorcycle and a truck, a big Bowie knife. But I think she's into Ortegas as far as relationships goes. And I go, this has been played out so much. Like, Daddy's not I'm not really not interested in this. And by the way, that's where that ends, this episode. And as I was saying, that doesn't bother me as far as that goes. If that's what they do with this, if she's, a lesbian and she wants to be with Ortegas. My problem is just it's so played out, these tropes. They just, every show does this crap. And I'm just like, come on, you guys, can we just do something different here? Something, not something that hasn't been done every other day on a show. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm probably being too harsh. Okay, well, see, that's all I got for you guys for this episode. Like I said, it is good. It's a good episode. I just yeah, I don't know. It was like I said, I feel like it was kind of filler. Did you feel it was filler, or is that just me? I don't know. But I'm going to leave it there because I've taken up so much of your time. Listen, tell me what you guys thought about this. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next week on my Star Trek Strange New Worlds breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.